Now, ladies, gentlemen, or whatever else you choose to identify yourself as, if you could please turn your attention to the right where you see the Egypt exhibit. This wing of the museum gives us a small glimpse of imperialism in Egypt. British imperialism started in 1882, shortly after the completion of the Suez Canal. The canal was one of Britain's main reasons for occupying Egypt and was completed in 1869. It was a bridge between the Red and the Mediterranean Sea, and was a very important location economically, geographically, and strategically for Britain. After the Anglo-Egyptian War in 1882, the British would officially occupy Egypt until the Suez Canal crisis of 1956, when the last of British forces would withdraw in accordance with the Anglo-Egyptian Agreement of 1954. Britain's rule in Egypt is characterized by three periods: the Veiled Protectorate from 1882 to 1913, the Formal Protectorate from 1914 to 1922, and continued occupation from 1922 to 1956. Now, on your left, you can see some of the artifacts from this time period. All of these artifacts were found in a coffin from Central Egypt and are very old. These artifacts tell quite an interesting story. The first artifact we have is a flag from the Arab Republic of Egypt. This flag style originated in 1984 and is still the flag used in Egypt today. As I have previously stated, Britain wanted Egypt for its unique geographical location, and maps are the best way to show it. We found two maps inside the coffin, one that dates before imperialism and one from after. It is amazing to see how borders shift and change over the decades. These maps also had two things in common: the Suez Canal, which brings us to our next artifact, which is a souvenir from the Suez Canal. Printed in 1868 and one of only 29 copies in the entire world, this artifact shows the importance of the Suez Canal to the British. Our next artifact is a piece of propaganda used during the Anglo-Egyptian War titled "The Devilfish in Egyptian Waters." It shows the greed of Britain and its continuous search to colonize and expand. There were also many personal items found in the coffin, such as this bottle of herbs, money, and a timeline. One of the most surprising artifacts found in this coffin was a copy of the Anglo-Egyptian Treaty of 1936. It was in beautiful condition, and it makes one wonder what type of person would have such an important document. Which brings us to our next artifact that tells us the story. It's a diary. The diary was written by a woman in the early 1900s named Kinza. She was a merchant's daughter and wanted to travel the world with her father. What she found instead was fear, oppression, death, freedom, and love. Her story of how she survived imperialism in Egypt is truly incredible. Our last and final artifact from this exhibit is a British war helmet. It was worn by a British soldier named Joseph, who was Kinza's lover. He helped many Egyptians flee from the British, including Kinza. They fell in love and ran away together, only to be caught in the crossfire of a battle, which sadly resulted in their deaths. Their records lay in this coffin and have now been found by us, which now concludes the Imperialism in Egypt section of our tour. Now, down the hallway to the right is the start of imperialism in